Hello, I'm Nova SC, and I'm here to commentate everyone's favourite matchup, that is PvP. Let's just bring up the names. It is I, Nova, in the bottom right against Alpha, who is in the top right and is a master level player. I'm in Diamond at the moment, but I'm doing rather good. I'm not typing very well though, it seems. I've had a fairly good day. Let's get rid of that. No one likes that. So I've had a fairly good day. I've been hammering at some games. Um, I I said jolly fun. Oh, because I mistyped the J. J and the good luck, have fun. Very good. I think that paused the game when I entered the chat. Let me. Does it? Wow, I never knew that. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff, I said. Extremely sincerely. So my opponent and I are in quite. I don't know how much I like these positions for me. Definitely favours an airplay from my opponent. He can build a Stargate here and just rally things straight to my natural. Not good times for me. Overall, though, I'm not sure how I feel about this map. For Protoss, I'd say it's really nice being able to wall off here. Obviously with a Forge and stuff against Zerg. But then in all matchups, this third is so hard to take because it's close air positions. Close by air positions, which means drops from Terran are really hard to deal with. It's really wide open, making Zerglings and stuff hard to deal with from Zerg, and thirds are always quite hard to take against Protoss. So yeah, it's not a good thing. Even against Protoss, it's nice to have like a bit of a choke or a ramp or something to make it a bit easier to defend. So I'm going for a gateway into 2 gas, very standard. He's gone for a gateway, a core, and just 1 gas. So either he puts that in, I'm going to shoot him. Why has he not got this? That's not. It's not a bit. That's a bit. Isn't it? What's he doing? What's he doing? He's really scouting because he's not looking at his base. Yeah, we just noticed that. That's quite a lot of gas actually for the early game that he must have lost there. So that's not good for him at all. I'd expect him to be getting a second gas any time now, or I'd say this is, yeah, it looks like an all-in. Looks like an all-in indeed. So obviously I've played the game. In fact, I played it today, and I know the outcome of the game, but I don't know all the little things like his build order because I didn't really watch the replay after I played the game. Well, I did, but I only watched the last fight. I skipped to like the end of the game, and watched the last fight. So I've already given away things. I've already given away that it's not a cannon rush, though that would be extremely unlikely at this point. So my opponent's definitely going for some sort of warp gate timing. I'm not sure. I just saw lots of units in the game. It's either a 3 gate or a 4 gate. I'm not sure what it's gonna be. Let's plant down a pylon. That's common practice in this matchup, as is every matchup with a Protoss in it. Weakening down these rocks because they are annoying and they spawn devils to come and kill your probes, and you don't want that happening. Still on 1 gas. In fact, how many units has he got? So he has, yeah. He has less. He could get away with having 2 more probes on minerals, but he's being extra cheesy with this. In fact, he should really have gotten another gateway because he has too many minerals as well. But we'll see what he's doing. He's going for only stalker play. I guess that makes that will burn through his cash faster, I guess. And I'm just sitting here with my I just sit here with my 2 sentries. I went for a 1 gate expand. It's weird that I'm neglecting my own build in favour of my opponent this time. Usually I think I'm slightly biased in the casting towards myself, but I must love my opponent in this matchup. Accidentally let 2 stalkers up, but that's going to work out fine for me, I believe. Depends how well I micro this. Okay, I couldn't quite a bit more than I could chew. Luckily sniping that stalker there. Oh, leaving the mothership core, silly mothership core. Luckily I've already got the photon overcharge, so that's going to allow me to allow me some time to get an immortal out, so that's going to really help me defend. Really interesting that I've noticed that this covers the entire base and he can't get to my natural. Interestingly, does he know that I've taken a base? He doesn't know. If he knew that I'd taken this base, I'd be more in favour of him doing this 3-gate attack. But since he's done this sort of semi-blind, he did scout, but he didn't really get an idea of what I was doing. Yeah, I don't like this sort of aggression if you don't know what your opponent's doing. So I'm running off 3 gateways. Got the immortal pumping out immortals, yeah. Robo pumping out immortals. Not making another launcher course, I won't have a photon overcharge, and this is looking terrible for me. Just gradually, just warping in zealots where I can, just to buy time for this immortal. But considering he's so stalker heavy at the moment, this immortal is just really putting in work. I've already killed off 2 stalkers, a third one that's really paid off. Warping him a few more zealots, and because I'm better saturated than he is this whole time, though he has started adding them on now. I've been able to just get slightly further ahead than my opponent at this point. So after that really close battle there, I've come out slightly behind on workers because he started producing them again towards the end of that fight. But I'm definitely ahead in tech at this point. He doesn't even have a robo yet. He is working on a Stargate, but that's going to be better for harassment than really progressing his tech. And that's a good little force field there, killing off some more stalkers. Units lost must be very even. Wow, I thought I'd be ahead at this point, but no, very even. And my base is settling in, so I would give myself a slight edge here, but depending on how this oracle works out, that I could lose that edge. Checking it with my observer, seeing what's going down. Very fast reactions there, seeing my army coming down to just to kill those stalkers. And I just clean up that pylon. Do I know about any of these other pylons? I don't think I do. No. Even if I did know about them, I wouldn't risk going down to kill them, because my opponent might have had blink at this point. He might be roaming around with a bunch of scary stalkers, ready to pounce as like my immortals and finish me off. Getting my Twilight Council. That's not a reaction to Twilight in reaction to a Stargate or anything. I just think the Twilight Council is quite a good, consistent thing to do at this point in the game. He's killed a few probes, 3, respectable. But he really wants to be killing off a lot more for that to pay off. Maybe 6 kills or so. That makes that Oracle pay off, I'd have thought. Not sure exactly how many. The Oracle's coming back to play, but I'm evacuating all my probes and having them sit at my main base, where my units are. And he still gets to kill a couple probes. Just one more. He's weakened a few as well. Responsibly scouting with this hallucination scout. Back home he's making void rays, and he hasn't added a robo, he hasn't added any forgers, he's just adding on probes. Probes are favouring me somehow, so he must not have been continuously making probes that whole time, which is unfortunate because he's now behind in every form, I think. Army, active forces. Yeah, he's behind in army and economy and tech, so he really needs to get something done with this oracle. Otherwise it's not looking good for him. He really wants to be, yeah. Maybe some surgical strikes of the void rays will really pay off at this point. Oracle just hanging out, looking good. I'm doing some responsible scouting myself, in 2 locations. Oh, because I don't even know where he is. Oh wow, hilarious! It's 12 minutes and 50 seconds into the game, I have no idea where he is this whole time. Awesome. Okay, Oracle shoots in, takes off a probe. I have a High Templar waiting for him, just in the perfect position to take away all of his energy. One down here as well, but I have a cannon there, so that's not really needed anymore as much. I think I've seen everything that he has now. I've seen a lot of the things. We've seen that forge, which is quite an important telltale sign that he's not going to all in quite yet. Taking my base. That's after getting some High Templar and ready. They can be morphed into Archons if he's attacking now. they can be used to feedback that, so it's not nearly as effective. Or it can be used later in the game for Storm if he makes Void Rays. I don't think I know that he's making Void Rays just yet, so I'm just leaving these in High Templar form, because I don't know if I need them as Archons yet, because he might not be pushing, which doesn't look like he is. He's sitting quite happily back on his base, producing Void Rays like I did at the beginning of Heart of the Swarm Beta. He's got a cannon here, don't know why. Maybe he's expecting me to do some fancy harassment techniques. On down here, units up here, I think he has fairly good vision. No, he doesn't. I'd like to see him have a pylon here, maybe check around these places for proxy pylons periodically. I just have this one observer checking the most likely attack paths, so that I know when I need to morph into Archons. I know when to stop producing probes and mass produce those alerts to keep me alive frantically. So I know my base is earlier than my opponent, so I really need to keep that alive. I'm now producing my own Storm, because I think I saw those Void Rays of Hallucination Scan, because I'm sending lots of hallucinations, and I can afford that because I made sentries early on to keep myself alive in that aggression, during all that aggression. Adding on extra cannons just to be extra safe. I know he's committed heavily to air, so he could make more oracles, so it's perfectly possible, so I want to have a small defense against that. Or he could do surgical strikes with the Void Rays and the Mothership Core, which I was really scared about in this game, I think I remember. Alpha's settling into his third, and my third's been running for a little while. I have enough Void Rays that High Templar Storm, I've got 6, and I'm making on Archons. It's not like against Terran, where any number of High Templar, like having 12 High Templar seems fine, because at the very least, what's going to happen is your opponent's going to be forced to make tons of ghosts to deal with them, which is very expensive. But in this matchup, it's not so good making lots of High Templar, because storms don't stack, and the battles rely on, well, who wins, but the battle just depends on one engagement usually. Whereas in Terran, Terrans often retreat with the medevacs with the boost, and often Protoss likes to recall out. Whereas midway through battle, if a Protoss recalled, then they're going to be losing a lot of stuff, because Protoss high DPS, scary big units, gonna kill all your stuff, bad times. Well, the only time I do recall midway through a battle is if I'm sniping a base here or here. If I do a bad example, if I waltz in up here, try to kill a base, and he comes and surrounds me, no way out here, so I'm gonna have to recall, and it's worth taking the losses while these units get ready to recall out. So I'm moving into a fourth, and he's not even thought about taking a fourth. He must have noticed that I'm taking this base, because I went down to clear out that pylon. Yeah, he's seen the base. Sitting on here with a very Void Ray heavy army, and that's just not the army you want against the composition I have here. I have Stalkers, I have High Templar, I have Archons, and that's just the perfect army to deal with Void Rays. And he's adding on Colossus, so yeah, he knows that what he's doing here isn't gonna help him out, isn't gonna work. I'm producing more Hallucination Scouts, my patented double Hallucination Scouts, so that it's harder to kill off. Still got Oracle sitting out here. I think that may have paid off. It didn't kill too many things, but it forced cannons here and here and here, so seems good. I got another read on his army, saw that he'd got about the same number of Void Rays, and he's added on these Colossus, so I'm gonna should start being, yeah, right now, adding on Colossus myself. Really nice army I've got here. I think it's smaller than my opponent's army at the moment. I think that's because the Void Rays are so mineral heavy. So I think our armies are fairly even at the moment, but these High Templar are going to be extremely cost effective, so that's a lot of them as well. So I give myself an edge. We're being very passive at the moment. I didn't remember it being this passive. It's been passive for since like the beginning of the game, when we had this crazy skirmish here. I have a very high Archon count of 7. Lots of High Templar, about 8 of those as well. Just a few Stalkers there to complement, and some Immortals, very good against the Colossus, because this army here is going to be very good at dealing with the units which often protect, which are going to be protecting the Colossus, so these Immortals will be able to do their full force against the Colossus. Counter attack up here with a Warp Prism. Resistance well, that's up here. We're going to be trying to kill off some of his production. It's already killing off some High Templar. Midway through this, I'm attacking his third base, dropping some storms when he comes to defend. Feedback on the Mothership Core, sort of need this, but whatever. He brings this whole army back to deal with 5 Zealots, or about 5, 6, 7 Zealots. It's quite a small number. And while that happens, I'm just going to kill off his third base, and then recall out of there fairly safely. At that point, his army's way bigger than mine, a lot bigger than mine, but my income's going to be twice his? Jeez, almost twice his income at this point. So this is, yeah, that really paid off for me. I'm on almost on 5 bases where he's running off 3. Actually, almost running off 3 because this isn't fully saturated, so I'm twice the base count of him. This one's mined out actually, shit. So he's got 1.5 bases against 1, 2, 3, 3.25 bases. So yeah, I'm very far ahead of my opponent in income now. I say of course because the gas is really important here, though it's hardly mining. It's not mining minerals at all, but this gas is so important. So you'll see Zergs just taking bases just for the extractors because the gas is so much better than minerals at this point in the game. Still sitting on those 6 High Templar. I like that number at the moment. I think I killed off some of my own structures because the formation I made there prevented Archons from fitting through because they're so fat. And this looks a bit scary. Army favoring my opponents. I've got more gas, which means that I'm going to have lots of Storms and have lots of Archons. And they are the most effective units at this point in the game. Dropping some Storms, microing back. Really paying off these Storms. Midway through this battle, I've warped in some Zealots and DTs to wreak some havoc. This prevents him from reinforcing the push that he's making, and also forces him to make some mixed Zealots, make DTs that he really didn't want to make. And the best thing is, he makes shit tons of DTs. That's a lot of ways to gas. I still have a DT sitting here being crazy annoying. Yeah, and it distracts him, and it kills off production doing these sort of harassment techniques. And I move the Warp Prism back. Considering he's making Void Rays, I would have thought he would have killed this off by now, to be honest. Income should still be, still twice for mine. Still twice the income of my opponent. This is still only half mining, because it's not mining minerals very much. But shit, I must have a lot of probes, actually. 81 probes! Jesus, wow. They should be mining, but damn. I'm mining really efficiently as well. There's 16 on each, 15 there, even more efficient. But wow, 81 efficiently mining probes. It's an insane income, especially the gas. Wow. He's making some Tempests for no apparent reason. I would definitely say Archons and High Templar would be more effective than Tempests in such small numbers. I don't think I'm for Tempests really, unless he's really good micro. He's got really good micro, and he just like waits here and just like snipes Colossus instead of going in. No, he didn't even focus on Colossus. Disappointing. Can I? No, I'm reserving though. I was just thinking that you could pop this by clicking on it. That's only when you're the player you can do that, I think. No, you can't kill it. If you're a player and you keep clicking that, you can kill it. And he calls me dumb. Don't know why he calls me dumb. I agree, naturally, because I'm dumb. I'm still twice his income, like more than twice his income now. and I think this is my game at this point. He wasn't able to harass this base. He probably should have done some. Does he even know about it actually? No, he doesn't even know about those bases. That's a killer. Yeah, if he knows about those bases, then he probably should have. If he knew about it, he probably should have gone and taken his arm with a Mothership Core and just charged into it and then recalled back because yeah, that's gonna really hurt him. And yeah, just a lack of scouting in the end game didn't really pay off. I mean, let me say, let me start again. Um, Mistakes from him here were in the late game. He didn't scout like at all. He just gave up scouting for some reason. He could have expanded a lot more. I think he had. Oh, that's my money. Shit. But yeah, I think he had points where he could have taken these bases, or even this base. And in the early game, that aggression that he played with, that he was trying to play around with, it didn't really pay off. I think he committed a bit too much because there was a point when he could have done some really cost-effective damage here, back in the back at the beginning of the game. I'm not going to fuss. I'm not going to rewind back there because that's going to take ages. But yeah, I think he just committed a bit too much. Because when I started those immortals started popping, and he started to get onto the back foot a little bit, then he definitely should have stopped making units and expanded straight away. Because in that point, I really couldn't do a counter push because he could just make sentries and keep me out. So yeah, it was hard luck from him. I mean, played decently. Didn't like the air play though. Though going straight for double Colossus after going for air, like forcing me to make anti-void ray units, and then going for double Colossus production. That was quite cool. I like that. So I'm going to stop talking now. Please join me again. I'm going to commentate some of my other favourite games of today. Probably not today because I'm running out of time because I played a lot of games and I've commentated a lot of games. And yeah, I'm tired. So see you later.